Hello everyone, today we're only going over lesson 2, comparing numbers. So let's get started. The first section says to compare numbers using the less than, greater than, or equal to signs. So if you look at number 1, you'll see that there is 3,293 with 3,392. So how to do this is you would go from the greatest value, which is the thousandth place right now, to the least this way, and just kind of compare the two numbers. So those are the same, but if you look at the hundredths place now, you can see that this one here is larger. So you would just go like that, and just kind of use the same strategy for all the other ones. So 929 with 920, obviously the 929 is going to be bigger or larger. The next one is 9,192 with 10,290, and this one has a 10,000 place, and the first value does not, so it's greater. Number 4 is 254,908 with 254,908. And as you can see, all the values here match up, so it's equal. Number 5 is 521,029 with 53,019. So the first value here has a whole 100,000 place, which the second value does not, so that one is greater. Okay, number 6 is 9,531 with 3,492. Looking at the thousandth place, you can see the 9 is greater than 3, so the 9,531 is greater. Number 7 is 478,567 with 478,577. Going through all the place values, all of them are same except the one here, the 10th place. The 7 is greater, so the second value will be greater. Number 8 is 290,302 with 290,303. All the values are the same except the ones place value, and as you can see, the 3 is greater, so the second value is greater. Okay, the next section says to write equivalent or not equivalent. So if you look at number 1, it says 153,890, and then it's written, the next one is written in word form, which says 153,890, which is, as you can see, the same number, so it would be equivalent. Okay, number 2 is kind of like, this one is in, it's like the addition form, and this is kind of written in just like the standard form. So if you add the first value, so 2 million plus 400,000 plus 50,000 plus 600 plus 7, would be 2,450,607. And if you compare these two numbers, you can see that the 7 makes it larger than this first value, so it would be not equivalent. Okay, number 3 says 38,049. And then we have to add all these values together, which is going to be 38,409. So as you can see, the hundredths place value here makes it greater than this first value, so it is not equivalent. Okay. Next section says to find the digit that will make the comparison true. So if you look here, the thousandth place value is missing, and this is the first value is going to be less than the second one, and it's 2 here, so it just needs to be a number less than, which is 1. Number 2 is the missing value here is in the thousandth place, and it's going to be greater than the second value, and as you can see, it's a 3 here, so it just needs to be greater than 3, so we can just write 4. For number 3, it's the hundredths place value that's missing, and it's going to be less than the second values, and the hundredths place value in the second one is 7, so anything less than that, so let's just do 6. Okay, number 4, the hundredths place value is missing, and it's going to be greater than the second value, and it's 7 here, so anything greater than that, let's just write 8. Okay, now the next section says order from greatest to least. So let's start from the greatest. Just start by going from like the largest place value to the least, looking at each of the numbers. So as you can see, the 16,905 is the greatest one here, because if you compare these two. And then after that, it's going to be 16,432, and lastly, 7,906. Number 2, kind of do the same thing. So the 1,119,080 is the greatest, and after that, it's going to be 119,819 is the next greatest, and the least is 119,234. And the last, number 3, you can see that the 682,436 is the greatest. After that, it's going to be the 648,279, and the last or the least is 612,193. Okay, and then the next section says to round the bolded digits. So you have to just look at the number before the bolded digit, and if it's 5 and up, you would round up, and if it's 4 and below, you would round down. So it's an 8, so you round up, making it 100,000. Number 2, it's a 0 before the 4, the digit you have to round up, or round. So the final answer is going to be 167,400 because you're rounding down. And then number 3, the value before it is 4, so you would just round it to 1,200,000. Okay, number 4 is 1 before the 3 that you have to round, so the final answer is just going to be 300,000. And then for number 5, the value before the bolded digit is 9, so you would round up. And since that it keeps kind of rounding up because they're all 9s, you get a final value of 1 million. And then number 6 is 2 before the 3, so it's going to make it 453,000. Okay, and lastly, word problems. Number 1, Joshua, Neil, Christian, and Ved compare their total season points for Whitney basketball. Joshua scored a total of 934 points, Neil scored 890 points, Christian scored 923 points, and Ved scored a total of 1,019 points. Name the names from most points scored to the least. Okay, so most is here in the beginning. So as you can see, Ved scored the most with 1,000. And then it's going to be, after that, the most is Joshua. And then after that, it's going to be Christian. And the least is Neil. Okay. And then B says round Ved's total points to the nearest tens place. So Ved had a total point of 890, and it's the nearest tens place. So if you look at the value before that, it's 0. So you would just round down or kind of basically keep it the same, I guess, giving you 890. Okay, number 2 says TK listened for a total of 54,381 hours on Spotify. JP listened for a total of 67,676 hours. And Robinson listened for a total of 64,867 hours. Order the names from most hours listened to the least. So the most, as you can see, is going to be JP. And then after that, it's Robinson. And then last is TK. What is the difference between JP's hours and TK's hours? So JP is right there and TK is this much. So you would just subtract 67,676 minus 54,381. And you would get the final value of 13,295. And that is your final answer. And that's also the last question. Thank you. Bye.